Yo, this is Real Talk. Hey, welcome to the locker room. Talking about basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all all know that James Harden has requested a trade, right? And we all know everything that's been going on with the Sixers and stuff like that. And yes, you read the title correctly. And yes, you saw the thumbnail. What is next for Joel Embiid? Now, if we all have been following this man's career properly, and if we all have been following the same man's career, then we all know Joel Embiid started off as the process. He started off as somebody who, in the long term was supposed to come back and, take this team somewhere. And, him and Ben Simmons were supposed to do this together. And for a while, it looked like they were trending in the right direction. They were going to the playoffs. They were playing hard. You saw them, grow, especially grow together on the team. You saw their talents start to complement each other. And then we realized that Ben Simmons was never going to take a three in the game. He was not going to shoot that ball no matter what it was going on. No matter what they lost, no matter how much pressure was on them, no matter what NBA championship level there was at, whether it was the conference finals, the second round, the playoffs, the first round, it did not matter. He was not shooting the ball at all. And then he started developing a fear from the free throw line. I don't know what scared him from free throws. I understand that a lot of players are not great at making free throw shots, but the fear that the free throw shot put into him was insane. I mean, this man would not take a single free throw shot. He was scared. He was panicking. He would try to do anything he can to not get fouled. He even held on to the ball and didn't go up to dunk on Trae Young so that he doesn't get fouled.
Simmons, they cleared out for him. Tapping his way in. Spins on Gallinari. Gives it up. Oh, he was right there.
This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Insane. And once we found that out, we realized this wasn't going to last long. Ben Simmons was not going to work hand in hand with Joel Embiid. It just was not going to be a thing. They didn't complement each other no more. We had Joel Embiid, who's a 7-footer, taking threes and shooting from the perimeter and trying to take long twos and all this stuff, while Ben Simmons was scared to get to the free throw line. While Ben Simmons would not even think about taking a three-point shot. So, we were like, you know what? Let's trade Ben Simmons. They traded Ben Simmons. They sent Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets. And the Sixers got James Harden in return. Now, we thought this was going to be a match made in heaven. We thought James Harden playing along the side of Joel Embiid was going to be the piece that the Sixers had been missing. We thought James Harden playing against Joel Embiid was all that Joel Embiid ever needed. We thought the shot creativity of James Harden was going to be everything that Joel Embiid and the Sixers have needed this entire time. We were like, damn, Ben Simmons couldn't take the three-point shot, but James Harden will take 30 of them if he can. We were like, damn, Ben Simmons wouldn't go to the free throw line. James Harden would love to go to the free throw line all game if he can. And offensively, on paper, this looked like it made a lot of sense. This looked like it was a match made in heaven. This looked like it was a match made by Cupid himself. But that wasn't the case. James Harden comes to this team, and the first year he's on the team, they only played like 20 games or so because he got traded in the middle of the season. They go to the playoffs, and they got kicked out of the playoffs. They lose. I honestly don't even remember if it was the first round or the second round. I just remember they were bounced out of the playoffs. We were like, okay, cool. We all gave them an excuse. They haven't played together. 20 games, 24 games is not enough. These two guys got to mesh. They have to have some type of continuity. They have to play together. They have to come together. They have to make sure that they understand the plays and each other's position and who likes to shoot where from what. And then we're like, you know what? The next year they come out, they're going to be amazing. The next year they come out, they might win a championship.
It just makes sense.
Well, the next year came. And when this next year started, which was this last year, they started off struggling. In the beginning of the season, it felt like they couldn't get a win. In the beginning of the season, it felt like they couldn't hold on to a lead. In the beginning of the season, it felt like I was watching another variation of the Lakers of 2 years ago. It didn't feel like a team that was ready to go deep into the playoffs. It didn't feel like a team that was ready to win the NBA Finals and get a championship. And out of nowhere, it just clicked. The Sixers started winning. They started putting a couple of games together. They started stringing a couple of wins together. And we're like, okay, here we go. They got this. They're going to do this. And then Tyrese Maxey and DeAnthony Melton were both coming off the bench. And one was starting. And, eventually the other one was starting. The other one would come off the bench. And we're like, damn. This might be great for the Sixers. It might be the best thing that's happened to them so far. They have two guys that can either start and be another shot creator or come off the bench and be a great sixth man. And neither of them cares about who's starting what and where. Obviously, it takes some getting used to, but they didn't care. At least they didn't show the media. And then we get to the playoffs. First round, they smoked the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets don't have the two big stars that they used to have anymore. They traded them away. They have a whole new roster who only played 20 games or so. They smoked the Nets. We're like, okay, this is great. They're going to sit there, they're going to wait, and they're going to come out prepared to take down the Celtics. And they come out in game one wilding. I mean, they come out game one bugging. James Harden put up like 45 points. I don't remember if Joel Embiid played this game or not, but I know James Harden went off this game. He owned the Celtics. And if I'm not mistaken, this was in TD Garden. So the fact that the Sixers just stole one at Boston is insane. We're thinking, oh my God, the Sixers took home court advantage. What is going to be next? The Celtics come back and win game 2. The Celtics come back and win game 3. We're like, damn. James Harden needs to show up. He's gone. He disappeared. He's doing that thing again. He's doing that thing in the playoffs that he does every year. He's not there. He's on the court, but he's not doing nothing. It's like we see him, but we don't see him. And then game 4 comes. James Harden doesn't have his great game again. He doesn't have one of his best games again. It was another mid or bad game from James Harden. He comes out. I think the Sixers still won game 4 though. But the point is, they come out in game 6 and James Harden has his best comeback game yet. He put up another 40-point game. I don't remember if it was 41 or 44, but he put up another one. And we're like, oh yeah, here we go. He woke up. That's it. It's over. He's going to win this game behind his 40-something points, and he's going to put up another 30 or 40-point game in game 7, and it's over. Then we're going to move on to the next round. No, that's not what happened. Game 7 came, and James Harden and Joel Embiid peed the bed. They shit the bed. I don't even know how they continue sleeping on the bed. They did terrible. Joel Embiid went 5 for 18, and James Harden went like 3 for 9. Harden ended the game with like 11 points or 9 points or something like that. It was bad. It was terrible. And then the worst that could have happened happened. James Harden requested a trade. In order for him to get traded, he had to opt in to his player's option. Now, once he opts in, it's up to Philly if they're going to trade him or keep him. And most teams do trade because you don't want to keep somebody that doesn't want to play for you. And why is this bad news? Who does Joel Embiid have now? What does Joel Embiid do from here? Can Joel Embiid continue to be on the Sixers? Can Joel Embiid continue to count on himself to win games? Can the Sixers manage to win by running this back with Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and whoever else they put next to them? I don't know. But what I do know is if Joel Embiid wants to continue having this team in the top 4, top 5 seed, his health is going to have to come into play. He needs to have a better season than his last year. And he was the MVP of last year's season. So he's going to need to come out and play even better than his MVP year. He doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have nobody by his side. He's alone. He's an alone superstar on this team. He has other great guys next to other good, decent players, but he doesn't have another James Harden. He doesn't have another Ben Simmons. So he's going to have to prove himself to us, to himself, to his teammates, and most importantly to the Sixers fans who have been let down time after time after time after time. But anyways, y'all, that's enough of me rambling and chatting. It's time for y'all to let me know, chatting down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Real Talk with E, and it's time to leave the locker room. I'm going to catch y'all. Safety in my hearts.
Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
The officials have to review it. And the Lakers win the game. Banks it in. He banks in the three.
To win it. Good. That's why he's NBA All-Defensive Team. Adebayo, sky high with the block and rejection.
This is for the win. Got it. Wow.
At 7, working against Butler, got down.